I never thought my best friend would frame me for shoplifting, but here I am, watching her walk down the street hand in hand with my ex-boyfriend. The same friend who just last month testified that she saw me steal from Morton's department store. The same friend who destroyed my life with a single lie. My name is Naomi, and until 6 weeks ago I had a respectable job at an accounting firm, a close-knit group of friends, and a reputation as the reliable one everyone could count on. Now, I'm the town pariah, unemployed, and watching Clara living the life she stole from me. I saw what I saw, Clara had declared to the security guard that day, her voice trembling with fake concern. I can't believe you'd do this, Naomi. I thought I knew you. I remember standing there, mouth agape, as she spun her web of lies. The security footage was conveniently corrupted for that time slot. The store manager believed Clara. Everyone always believes Clara with her perfect hair and innocent eyes. Even Alex, my boyfriend of 2 years, took her side. Hey, isn't that… Kyle, my new friend from self-defense class, touches my arm gently. We're sitting at an outdoor cafe, and he notices where I'm staring. Yep, Clara and Alex, the happy couple, I say, gripping my coffee cup tighter. Built their relationship on the ruins of my life. Have you tried talking to them since? What's the point? I take a sip of my now cold coffee. Clara's got everyone wrapped around her finger. Even Sadie, who's been my friend since college, barely returns my texts anymore. A sharp laugh catches my attention. Clara's throwing her head back, probably at one of Alex's terrible jokes. The same jokes I used to pretend were funny. They're heading our way, and my stomach clenches. We can leave, Kyle offers, but I shake my head. No, I'm done running. Clara spots me first. Her steps falter slightly, but she quickly recovers, plastering on that signature smile. Naomi, what a surprise. Is it? I meet her gaze steadily. This is my regular cafe? Has been for 3 years, back when we were friends. Alex shifts uncomfortably beside her. Naomi, Don't. I cut him off. Just don't. Clara's smile doesn't waver. We should catch up sometime. I miss you. The audacity makes my blood boil. Miss me? Like you missed me when you were telling the police how you witnessed me stuffing merchandise into my bag? Naomi, Clara's voice drops to a whisper. We both know what happened that day. Yes, we do. I stand up, my chair scraping against the concrete, and someday everyone else will too. Kyle stands with me, his presence solid and reassuring. Clara's eyes flick to him, then back to me. For a split second, I see something like worry cross her face. Come on, Clara. Alex tugs at her arm. We should go. As they walk away, I hear Clara's voice carrying back to us. Poor Naomi, she's still so angry. I wish she'd just admit what she did and get help. Kyle puts a hand on my shoulder. You okay? No, I say, watching their retreating figures. But I will be. That evening, I sit in my small apartment scrolling through old photos on my phone. Clara and me at graduation. Clara and me at my 27th birthday. Clara and me at her housewarming party. Each image feels like a knife twist. My phone buzzes with a text from May, my self-defense instructor. Missing you in class today. Everything okay? I type back. Ran into Clara and Alex. Hard day. Her response is immediate. Come to class tomorrow. I have something to show you. I stare at the message, thinking about how May has become more than just an instructor over the past few weeks. There's something about her, a quiet strength, a knowing look in her eyes when I told her my story. Another text from May. Trust me. It's time you learned how to fight back. Really fight back. I look at the last photo of Clara and me, taken just days before she destroyed my life. We're both smiling, arms around each other's shoulders. Best friends forever. Or so I thought. I'll be there, I text May back. I delete the photo and block both Clara and Alex's numbers. As I set my phone down, I feel something shifting inside me. The hurt and betrayal are still there, but something else is growing stronger. Determination. Clara thinks she's won, that she's taken everything from me. But she's wrong. She's taken my job, my reputation and my boyfriend, but she hasn't taken my will to fight back. And tomorrow, with May's help, I'm going to start learning how. I fall asleep that night with Clara's smug smile burned into my memory, but for the first time in weeks, it doesn't give me nightmares. Instead, it fuels my resolve. The truth will come out, and when it does, Clara's perfect little world will crumble just like mine did. May's self-defense studio smells like determination and rubber mats. I'm early for class, watching her arrange practice dummies in a semicircle. She looks up when I enter, her silver hair catching the morning light. "You came," she says, straightening up. "Good. I was hoping yesterday's run-in wouldn't discourage you." Actually, it did the opposite. I drop my gym bag by the wall. "What did you want to show me?" May walks to her office, motioning for me to follow. Inside, she pulls out a folder. "Before we get to that, tell me something. What's your end goal here, Naomi?" "I want people to know the truth about Clara." "No." May shakes her head. "That's your surface goal. Dig deeper." I pause, considering. I want to stop feeling powerless. I want Clara to face consequences for once in her life. Better. May opens the folder, revealing newspaper clippings. 20 years ago, I was you. Different circumstances, different betrayal, but the same helpless rage. Want to know what I learned? "That revenge isn't the answer," I say sarcastically. May laughs. "Oh no, revenge can absolutely be the answer. But it's like any other weapon, deadly if you don't know how to use it properly." Other students start filtering into the studio. Through the office window, I spot Kyle setting up his mat. "The physical training we do here," May continues, "that's just the beginning. Real power comes from understanding strategy, psychology, and patience." "What are you suggesting?" "I'm suggesting you let me teach you more than just self-defense moves." May's eyes lock with mine. "Clara's type, I've seen it before. They're predators who rely on their victims staying quiet and ashamed, but they're not as invincible as they think." A knock at the door interrupts us. Kyle pokes his head in. "Class is ready to start." "Perfect timing," May says. "Kyle, you're partnering with Naomi today." During class, May puts us through an intense series of defensive moves. But something's different today. She keeps emphasizing awareness, reading opponents, finding weak spots. "Your attacker's strength can become their weakness," May calls out as we practice. "Use their momentum against them." Kyle throws a punch, which I deflect using his own force to unbalance him. He hits the mat with a thud. "Nice!" He grins up at me. "You're getting better at this." The student becomes the master, I joke, helping him up. After class, May calls me back to her office. Kyle lingers by the door. "He can stay," May says, noting my glance at Kyle. "You'll need allies you can trust." She pulls out her phone, showing me a social media post. It's Clara, announcing her new role as event coordinator for the upcoming charity gala at Morton's department store, the same store where she framed me. "The universe has a sense of humor," I mutter. "No," May says firmly. "This isn't coincidence. This is opportunity. Clara's confident, which means she's likely to make mistakes. But you need to be smart about this." Kyle steps forward. "I might be able to help. I work in IT security." "Perfect," May nods. "Because lesson 1 in strategic revenge, gather intelligence before making any moves." She hands me a business card. "This is for a coffee shop near Morton's. The owner's an old friend. Start spending time there. Watch. Listen. Learn Clara's patterns." "You seem very prepared for this," I say carefully. May's expression hardens slightly. "Let's just say I understand what it's like to have someone try to destroy your life. The difference is, you don't have to face this alone." As Kyle and I leave the studio, he touches my arm. "You know I'm in this with you, right? Whatever you need." "Why?" I ask. "You barely know me." "Because I've seen what false accusations can do to someone." He looks away briefly. "My sister went through something similar. Nobody believed her either." We stop at a nearby diner for lunch, spreading May's folder between us. Kyle pulls out his laptop. "First thing we need to do is document everything," he says. "Every interaction with Clara, every text, every social media post. Build a timeline." "You really think we can prove what she did?" "People like Clara. They get sloppy when they think they've won." He starts typing. Plus, about that corrupted security footage at Morton's, there might be ways to recover it. For the first time in weeks, I feel a spark of real hope. Not just anger or hurt, but actual hope. May's right, you know, Kyle says, looking up from his screen. This isn't just about exposing Clara. It's about reclaiming your power. I think about Clara's smug face yesterday, about how she's probably never faced consequences for any of her actions, about how many other people she might have hurt. Okay, I say, pulling out my phone to show Kyle the timeline of events. Where do we start? As we begin plotting and planning, I realize May has given me something more valuable than just self-defense skills. She's shown me that sometimes the best revenge isn't a loud, dramatic confrontation. It's a carefully orchestrated unveiling of the truth. And Clara, she has no idea what's coming. The coffee shop May recommended has become my second home. From my corner table, I can see Morton's department store's main entrance, and more importantly, I can see Clara arriving for her event planning meetings. Your usual. Rita, the owner, sets down a steaming cappuccino. Thanks. Any interesting gossip today? Rita leans in closer. May told me about your situation. Clara's been in and out all morning, making demands about the charity gala. Apparently, she's insisting on using the security office as her personal planning space. I nearly choke on my coffee. The security office? Where they keep the surveillance equipment? The very same, Rita winks. Interesting choice, isn't it? My phone buzzes. It's Kyle. Meet me at May's in 20, breakthrough. At the studio, I find Kyle and May huddled over his laptop. Their expressions make my heart race. What's going on? Show her, May tells Kyle. He turns the screen toward me. Remember how the store claimed the security footage from that day was corrupted? Well, most security systems have redundant backups. I did some digging. Legal digging, May interjects firmly. Of course, Kyle grins. And look what I found in their cloud storage. The footage is grainy but clear enough. There's me browsing through clothes. Then Clara approaches, holding something behind her back. We chat, and when I turn away, she slips something into my bag. Oh my God. My hands shake. This is it. This is proof. There's more, Kyle says. The timestamp shows Clara entering the security office 10 minutes before she reported you. The footage gap starts right after that. May nods approvingly. She tried to delete the evidence, but didn't know about the cloud backup. So what now? I ask. Do we take this to the police? Not yet, May cautions. Clara's got too much influence locally. We need to make this public in a way she can't control or deny. A knock at the studio door interrupts us. To my shock, Sadie walks in looking nervous. I hoped you'd be here, she says. I need to tell you something. May and Kyle move to leave, but I stop them. They can stay. What is it, Sadie? Sadie sits down, wringing her hands. I've been feeling guilty about Clara. She told me what she was planning before it happened, about framing you. My breath catches. You knew? She said it was just a joke. Sadie's voice cracks. That security would just give you a warning. I didn't know she'd take it so far. Then, when it happened, I was too scared to speak up. Why now? I demand. Why come forward after all this time? Because she's doing it again. Sadie pulls out her phone, showing us texts from Clara. She's planning something for the charity gala, something about finally securing her position with Alex. I'm worried she'll hurt someone else. May steps forward. Sadie, would you be willing to make a statement about what you know? Yes. I should have done it sooner. Kyle's typing furiously on his laptop. The charity gala is in 2 weeks. It's a perfect opportunity. Everyone who matters in town will be there. Including the local press, May adds. Rita mentioned they're covering it. My mind races with possibilities. Clara's using the security office for planning. She probably thinks she's being clever, making sure she can control any footage from the gala too. But she doesn't know we have the original footage, Kyle says. Or that we know her plans, Sadie adds quietly. May stands up, pacing the room. Okay, let's think strategy. The gala's theme is truth and transparency. Ironic, really. Clara's in charge of the presentations. which means she'll be on stage, I finish, in front of everyone. Including the store owner and the police chief, Sadie confirms. They're both on the guest list. Kyle looks up from his laptop. I can set up a secure feed to the presentation screen. If we time it right, we can show the footage during her speech, I say, the plan forming clearly. Better, May corrects. We show it after she denies everything. Give her the chance to dig her own grave deeper. Sadie touches my arm. I'll back you up. Tell everyone how she planned it. For a moment, I'm overwhelmed by the support surrounding me. May's strategic mind, Kyle's technical skills, even Sadie's belated but crucial honesty. 2 weeks, I say. 2 weeks to plan everything perfectly. 2 weeks to ensure Clara can't squirm her way out of this one, Kyle adds. May gives me one of her knowing looks. Remember what we've practiced. Stay focused. Stay calm. Let her overconfidence be her downfall. As we begin planning the details, I picture Clara's face when she realizes her perfect world is about to shatter. But this time, it's not just about revenge. It's about justice. About protecting others from becoming her next target. One more thing, Sadie says as she's leaving. Alex? He's been having doubts about Clara. I think he's starting to see through her. Good, I reply. Then he can watch her fall with the rest of them. She's done this before, Sadie says, stirring her untouched coffee. We're sitting in a quiet corner of Rita's cafe, away from curious ears. Clara, I mean. The manipulation, the lies. It wasn't just you. Tell me everything. Sadie glances around nervously. Remember Maria from college, how she suddenly transferred schools? Clara said Maria had a breakdown. No, Clara spread rumors that Maria was stealing test answers. When Maria confronted her, Clara turned the whole study group against her. Sadie's voice drops. Sound familiar? My stomach turns. Why didn't you say something then? Because Clara has this way of... Sadie struggles for words. It's like she collects people's secrets, uses them as insurance. The cafe door chimes. Alex walks in, stopping short when he sees us. He looks tired, shadows under his eyes. I should go. Sadie stands quickly. Oh, no, stay. I wave Alex over, surprising myself. I think it's time we all talked. Alex approaches cautiously, coffee in hand. I've been wanting to talk to you, Naomi. About everything. So talk. He sits, running a hand through his dishevelled hair. Clara's been different lately. Controlling. She gets these phone calls that make her nervous. Yesterday, I found her going through my emails. Shocking, I say dryly. The person who framed me for theft turns out to be untrustworthy. I deserve that, Alex admits. I should have believed you. Yes, you should have, Sadie interrupts. Alex, there's something you need to know about the charity gala. My phone buzzes. It's Kyle. Emergency at the studio. Come now. I have to go. I stand abruptly. Sadie, fill him in. Alex, just listen to what she has to say. At May's studio, I find Kyle pacing, while May watches security footage on his laptop. What's wrong? Clara's been asking questions, Kyle says. About me? About why I'm suddenly friends with you. She called my workplace today. May points to the screen. And look who just visited the studio while we were closed. The footage shows Clara trying the door, then peering through windows. She's on her phone looking agitated. She's getting suspicious, May says, which means we need to accelerate our timeline. The gala's still 10 days away, I protest. And in 10 days she could dig up something to discredit all of us. May closes the laptop. Kyle, what's the soonest we could be ready? He thinks for a moment. 3 days. The presentation system is already set up at Morton's. I just need to ensure our footage can't be blocked or traced. 3 days, I repeat. Can we get everyone in place that quickly? We have to. May's expression is grim. Clara's not just defending herself anymore. She's actively investigating us. That makes her dangerous. My phone buzzes again. A text from Sadie. Told Alex everything. He's in shock but wants to help. Says Clara's been accessing his work computer. Look at this. Kyle turns his laptop around. Clara's social media just went private. All of it. She's covering her tracks. May nods. She knows something's coming. She just doesn't know what. Then let's show her. I pull out my phone, dialing Sadie. Get Alex and meet us at Rita's. Tonight. We're moving up the timeline. That evening, our unlikely group assembles in Rita's cafe after hours. Alex looks shell-shocked, Sadie's nervous, Kyle's focused on his laptop, and May's calmly making tea. 3 days from now, I explain, Clara's holding a pre-gala meeting at Morton's. All the committee members will be there. Including the store owner and local press, Sadie adds. Alex speaks up. Clara's been obsessing over this meeting. She's preparing some big presentation about store security and community trust. Oh, the irony, Kyle mutters, typing. May sets teacups in front of everyone. Here's the plan. Alex, you'll ensure Clara stays focused on her presentation. Sadie, you'll need to get the committee members there early. Say there's been a time change. I can do that, Sadie nods. They all trust me. Kyle will handle the technical side. I'll manage any security issues, May continues. Naomi, you'll need to be ready to present your evidence clearly and calmly. What if she tries to run? Alex asks, or denies everything. That's why we wait until she's mid-presentation, Kyle explains. When she's talking about trust and security, we'll show exactly how she abused both. Rita, who's been quietly listening, speaks up. I'll have coffee and refreshments delivered to the meeting. Give me an excuse to be there as a witness. Looking around the table at these people, some old friends, some new, all united in exposing the truth, I feel a surge of strength. 3 days, I say. No turning back now. May raises her teacup. To justice served at last. As we clink cups, I notice Alex's hands shaking slightly. You okay? He meets my eyes. No, but I need to make this right. We all do. Outside, the sun sets on our planning session, and I can't help but think that somewhere across town, Clara has no idea her carefully constructed world is about to come crashing down. She's panicking, Alex says, showing me his phone. We're in May's studio reviewing final preparations. Look at these texts from Clara. The messages show Clara's increasing paranoia. Who's that woman with silver hair? Why are you being weird? Are you meeting Naomi behind my back? Good, May says, reviewing security camera positions on Kyle's laptop. A panicked opponent makes mistakes. Kyle bursts through the door, face flushed. We have a problem. Clara just tried to access the store's security system remotely. She's looking for the backup files. Can she find them? I ask. No, I've already moved everything to a secure server. But she knows something's missing. May's phone rings. It's Rita. Clara's here at the cafe, she reports. She's asking questions about all of us, trying to seem casual, but she's definitely spooked. Perfect timing, May says, hanging up. Naomi, go to the cafe. Let her see you. Let her worry. Are you sure? Trust me. Sometimes the best strategy is to walk straight into the lion's den. At Rita's cafe, I spot Clara immediately. She's at my usual table watching the door. When I enter, her face goes through a series of emotions, surprise, fear, then forced confidence. Naomi, she calls out, voice syrupy sweet. Join me? I sit down, ordering my usual from Rita, who gives me a subtle nod. Funny running into you here, Clara says. I hear you've made some new friends. Is that why you've been investigating them? Her smile falters slightly. I'm just concerned. After what happened, well, I worry about the company you keep. Like you worried about me when you planted stolen merchandise in my bag. We both know that's not what happened. Clara leans forward. But I'm willing to forgive and forget. We could be friends again, Naomi. Everything could go back to normal. I laugh and she flinches at the sound. Normal? You mean where you manipulate everyone around you? Where you destroy people for fun? I don't know what Sadie's been telling you, but I didn't mention Sadie. Clara's face darkens. Fine. You want to play games? Remember who knows all your secrets, Naomi. Remember who people in this town believe. Is that a threat? It's a reminder. She stands, gathering her designer bag. Whatever you're planning for tomorrow's meeting, don't. You'll only embarrass yourself further. After she leaves, my phone buzzes with messages from our group chat. Kyle. Got everything on audio. She practically confessed. Sadie. Committee members confirmed for early arrival tomorrow. Alex. Clara just called. She's rattled. May. Perfect. Everyone in position tomorrow at 9 a.m. That evening, May invites us all to her house, a surprising departure from our usual meeting spots. As we gather in her living room, she reveals why. Before tomorrow, you need to understand something. She pulls out an old photo album. 20 years ago, I was a corporate negotiator. I watched a colleague destroy evidence to cover up financial fraud. When I threatened to expose her, she framed me instead. What happened? I ask. I lost everything. My career, my reputation. But I learned valuable lessons about timing, strategy, and patience. She closes the album. Tomorrow isn't just about exposure, it's about making sure Clara can't twist the narrative. Kyle opens his laptop. I've set up 3 separate systems to display the evidence. If one fails, the others kick in automatically. The committee members will all be there 15 minutes early, Sadie confirms, including the store owner and 2 reporters. Alex shifts uncomfortably. Clara's been calling me non-stop. She knows something's wrong. Let her worry, May says. Fear makes people sloppy. Tomorrow she'll be so focused on maintaining control that she won't see the truth coming until it's too late. What if something goes wrong? I ask. That's why we have backups for our backups, Kyle assures me, and why everyone knows their role. May stands, addressing us all. Tomorrow we're not just exposing one lie, we're exposing a pattern of manipulation that's hurt multiple people. Remember that. This isn't revenge. It's justice. As we leave May's house, Alex pulls me aside. Naomi, I'm sorry. For everything. I know. No, you don't understand. Clara. She didn't just steal me from you, she made me believe horrible things about you, and I let her. I look at him, really look at him, and see the guilt eating away at him. Tomorrow isn't about us, Alex. It's about making sure Clara can't hurt anyone else. Back home, I lay out my clothes for tomorrow, professional, confident, unshakable. My phone lights up with one last message from Clara. Last chance, Naomi. Back off now, or I'll make sure you regret it. I show the message to our group chat. May responds, perfect. Save it. Tomorrow, every threat becomes another nail in her coffin. I set my alarm for 7 a.m., knowing that in less than 24 hours, Clara's carefully constructed world of lies will finally come crashing down. Morton's department store looks different in the early morning light. I arrive at 8:30 a.m. to find Kyle already set up in a corner of the conference room, running final checks on his equipment. Everything's ready, he whispers. 3 separate systems, all synchronized. She can't stop this. Rita arrives with coffee and pastries, setting them up carefully. Clara's in the security office. She's been here since 7, checking cameras and files. Let her search, May says, appearing beside me. Those files aren't there anymore. Committee members start arriving early, thanks to Sadie's carefully orchestrated time change. The store owner, Mr. Peters, looks annoyed at the schedule confusion. 2 local reporters set up their notebooks, expecting a routine story about store security improvements. At 9:15, Clara bursts through the door, trying to hide her flustered state. I'm so sorry, everyone. There seems to have been some confusion about the start time. Yes, Mr. Peters frowns. Quite inconvenient. Clara's eyes dart around the room, landing on each of us in turn. I see the moment she realizes something's wrong. Her perfect smile slips just slightly. Well, she recovers quickly. Since we're all here, let's begin. As you know, store security and community trust are our top priorities. May touches my arm and whispers, watch her hands. She's nervous. See how she keeps checking her phone. Clara continues her presentation, clicking through slides about security improvements and community initiatives. We've implemented state-of-the-art surveillance systems. Kyle nods at me, right on cue. Speaking of surveillance, I stand up. Would you mind explaining this footage, Clara? Before she can respond, the presentation screen changes. The video plays clearly. Clara slipping merchandise into my bag, her entering the security office, the timestamp proving it all. The room goes silent. Clara's face drains of colour. That's... That's clearly doctored footage, she stammers. Is it? Sadie stands now. Like how you doctored the story about Maria in college, or how you manipulated the security footage that day. Clara's eyes go wild. You don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Peters, these people are trying to sabotage our event. The cloud backup doesn't lie, Clara. Kyle interrupts, typing commands. Multiple screens around the room light up with different angles of the same incident. The reporters are scribbling frantically. Mr. Peters looks thunderstruck. This is ridiculous, Clara laughs nervously. Alex, tell them how unstable Naomi is, how she's been harassing us. Alex stands slowly. No more lies, Clara. I've seen your true colours now. The manipulation, the threats, the way you access my private emails. You went through his computer? Mr. Peters asks sharply. Clara's composure cracks. I had to. They were all conspiring against me. Naomi's just jealous because I took Alex from her. Actually, May steps forward, this goes beyond personal vendettas. I've compiled statements from multiple victims of your manipulations, including documentation of how you accessed confidential store security systems without authorization. The reporters are practically salivating now. One raises her hand. Ms. Francis, would you care to comment on these allegations? Clara's face contorts. She grabs her phone, frantically typing. You'll all regret this. I have proof that... That what? I ask calmly. That you've been threatening people? Check your phone, Clara. Those files you're looking for, they're gone. But we have copies of everything, including these. Kyle projects a series of Clara's threatening texts onto the screen. Clara makes a dash for the door, but May smoothly steps in her way. Running won't help your case. Mr. Peters stands, face red with anger. Security, please escort Ms. Francis to my office, and someone call the police. As security leads Clara away, she screams back at me. You planned this. All of you. This isn't over. Actually, I say quietly, it is. The next hour is a blur of police statements, reporter questions, and shocked committee members processing the truth. Mr. Peters personally apologizes to me, promising to clear my record and provide a formal statement about my innocence. Later, our group gathers at Rita's cafe. The local news website already has the story up. Local event coordinator exposed in elaborate framing scheme. You did well, May says, squeezing my shoulder. How do you feel? I look around at these people who helped me find justice. Kyle with his technical expertise, Sadie with her brave honesty, Alex with his belated but crucial support, Rita with her strategic cafe position, and May, who taught me that revenge served cold is more satisfying than revenge served hot. I pause, searching for the right word. I feel free. Good, May nods. But remember, freedom comes with responsibility. What happened today wasn't just about exposing Clara. It was about standing up for truth. My phone buzzes with messages from old friends, already hearing the news. But one message catches my eye, from an unknown number. Thank you. I was another one of Clara's victims. You gave me courage to speak up too. Looking up at my allies, I realize May was right. This was never just about revenge. It was about breaking a cycle of manipulation and fear. And somehow, in fighting for justice, I found something I hadn't expected. A new kind of family. The police station buzzes with activity as I give my official statement. Detective Morris leans forward, reviewing the evidence Kyle compiled. This is quite extensive, she says, flipping through screenshots and transcripts. You're not the only one coming forward. We've had 3 other complaints about Miss Francis since this morning. 3? I'm surprised by the number. Make that 4, another officer calls out, hanging up his phone. The college just contacted us about the Maria incident. They're reopening that investigation. My phone keeps lighting up with notifications. Messages from old friends, colleagues, even strangers sharing similar stories about Clara. The local news website's comment section is flooded with accounts of her manipulation. Naomi, Sadie pokes her head into the interview room. There's someone here you should meet. In the waiting area stands a woman about my age, fidgeting nervously. I'm Maria, she says. I flew in as soon as I saw the news. Maria? My throat tightens. From college? She nods. When I saw the story break, I knew I had to come back. Clara didn't just frame me for cheating. She destroyed evidence that would have proven my innocence. I've been carrying that shame for years. Before I can respond, Kyle rushes in. You need to see this. Clara just posted something online. We crowd around his phone. Clara's final social media post is a lengthy confession clearly written in panic. I admit it. I framed Naomi. I framed Maria. I manipulated everyone. But you don't understand. I had to. Everyone always liked them better. It wasn't fair. Classic narcissist breakdown, May comments, appearing behind us. When cornered, they either attack or confess dramatically. Detective Morris prints out the confession. This makes our job easier. We're charging her with multiple counts of false reporting, evidence tampering, and cyber harassment. The station door opens again. Alex walks in looking determined. I've brought the work laptop Clara used. The IT department found evidence she was accessing confidential files, planning more setups. How many people did she hurt? Maria whispers. Too many, May says firmly. But it ends today. Suddenly, there's a commotion outside. Through the station windows, we see Clara being led in handcuffs from a police car. Her perfect hair is disheveled, her designer outfit wrinkled. She spots us through the window. You ruined everything, she shrieks. I had it all under control. Everyone loved me. No, Clara, I say through the glass. They feared you. There's a difference. As officers lead her away, Mr. Peters arrives with more evidence. Security logs showing Clara's unauthorized access. Documentation of her threats to other employees. The store's issuing a public apology to you, Naomi, he says. And we'd like to offer you a position on our actual security team, given how well you handled this situation. I look at May, who nods approvingly. Sometimes the best security experts are those who've seen the flaws in the system firsthand. Maria touches my arm. Would you help me file my statement? I think it's time I told my story too. We all should, Sadie adds. Every person Clara hurt deserves to be heard. The next few hours are a blur of statements, evidence processing, and more revelations. Clara's web of manipulation stretched further than any of us imagined. Former colleagues, old friends, even family members start coming forward with their own stories. By evening, we're all exhausted but relieved. Rita brings coffee for everyone, and we gather in the station's break room. I never thought this day would come, Maria says. I'd given up on justice. That's what Clara counted on, May explains. People giving up, staying quiet. But it only takes one person standing up to inspire others to do the same. Alex, who's been quiet most of the day, finally speaks. I keep thinking about all the signs I ignored, the little red flags that seemed so obvious now. We all missed them, Sadie says gently. She was good at what she did. Kyle's still monitoring social media. The story's gone viral. Tran Clarascon is trending. People are sharing similar experiences with manipulators in their lives. Detective Morris joins us with an update. Clara's being held without bail. Given the mounting evidence and her public confession, the DA's confident about the case. What happens now, I ask. Now, May says, we help others recognize these patterns. This isn't just about Clara anymore. It's about breaking the silence around manipulation and abuse. Maria nods. I'd like to help. Maybe start a support group for others who've been through similar situations. Count me in, Sadie adds. It's time to use our experience to help others. Looking around at this unlikely group, May with her strategic wisdom, Kyle with his technical brilliance, Maria with her renewed courage, Sadie with her determination to make amends, and even Alex with his journey from blindness to clarity, I realize we've become something powerful. Clara thought she was destroying us, I say. Instead, she brought us together. That's usually how it works, May smiles. The strongest bonds are often forged in the fight against injustice. Outside, reporters are gathering for the evening news broadcast. Clara's reign of manipulation is over, but our story, our journey of recovery, Justice and healing is just beginning. The courthouse steps are crowded with reporters as Clara is led out in handcuffs. She looks small now, nothing like the towering figure who once terrorized so many lives. Our support group members watch from across the street, faces I've come to know well over the weeks of preparation for this trial. 7 years, Kyle whispers, squeezing my hand, plus restitution to all victims. May stands beside us, her silver hair catching the morning light. The sentence matters less than what we've built from this. She's right. What started as my personal quest for revenge has grown into something larger. Our weekly support meetings at Rita's Cafe now draw people from 3 neighbouring towns. Maria leads most sessions, her quiet strength helping others find their voice. "Naomi," a familiar voice calls out. Alex jogs up to us, loosening his tie after testifying. "Can we talk?" I nod, following him to a quiet corner of the courthouse garden. "I've been offered a job in Seattle," he says. I think it's time for a fresh start." "Good for you," I say, and mean it. The anger I once felt toward him has faded into something like understanding. Before I go, I needed to say this properly. He meets my eyes. "I'm sorry, not just for believing Clara, but for trying to win you back after everything came out. You deserved better than that." "We all deserved better," I reply, "but we're building better now." Back at the courthouse steps, Sadie's talking to reporters. This case isn't just about Clara. It's about recognizing patterns of manipulation and standing up to them. That's why we've started the Truth Alliance. My phone buzzes with a message from Mr. Peters. "Security system upgrade complete. Your recommendations made all the difference." "Thank you." Rita appears with her signature coffee tray. Special delivery for our justice warriors. The cafe's packed with people watching the verdict coverage. "Speaking of the cafe," May says, "shall we? There's something we need to discuss." At Rita's, our usual corner has been transformed. A banner reads, "Truth Alliance Official Launch." Kyle's laptop displays our new website, featuring resources for identifying manipulation and finding support. "We've received funding," May announces, "enough to expand the program to other cities. Maria's agreed to head the education division. Kyle's handling the technical side. We need someone to coordinate it all." Everyone looks at me. "Me?" I blink. "But I'm just the person who turned personal revenge into community healing," Sadie interrupts. "Just the one who showed us all how to fight back properly." "With strategy," May adds. "And compassion," Maria says. "And tech savvy," Kyle grins. Looking at their faces, these people who became family through our shared battle, I feel something shift inside me. This isn't about Clara anymore. It hasn't been for a while. "Okay," I say, "but on one condition. We focus on prevention as much as recovery. No one should have to go through what we did." "Already planned for that," Kyle says, pulling up another screen. "We're developing a training program for schools and workplaces, spotting red flags, documenting evidence, building support networks." "Like a vaccine against manipulation," Rita adds, refilling our cups. The cafe door chimes. A young woman enters, looking nervous. Is this where the support group meets?" "Welcome," Maria says warmly, pulling up a chair. "You're in the right place." As the newcomer begins sharing her story, I watch my friends' faces. May listening with strategic insight. Kyle documenting patterns we might need to address. Sadie offering quiet encouragement. Maria sharing her own experience when relevant. My phone buzzes one last time, a news alert about Clara's sentencing. I dismiss it without reading. She doesn't matter anymore. What matters is here, in this cafe, in these connections, in the strength we've built together. "You know what this reminds me of?" May says quietly. "That first day in self-defense class. You came in looking for revenge but found something better." "Found my power," I complete her thought. "Found your purpose," she corrects, "and helped others find theirs." Outside, the sun sets on the courthouse where Clara's reign of manipulation officially ended. But here in Rita's Cafe, something new is rising. A network of support, a foundation of truth, a community of survivors turned warriors. "So," Kyle raises his coffee cup, To the Truth Alliance. To truth? We echo, cups clinking. A reporter peers through the cafe window, probably hoping for one last quote about Clara's sentencing. But our story isn't about Clara anymore. It's about what we built from the ashes of her destruction. It's about turning pain into purpose, revenge into revolution, and most importantly, turning victims into advocates. May catches my eye and nods approvingly. She knows, as I do now, that sometimes the best revenge isn't about destroying your enemy. Sometimes it's about building something so powerful from their actions that they become irrelevant to your story. And that's exactly what we've done.